Seriously, let's get out of here. I don't like the stairs. It hurts. In more ways than one.
Like at that point, Thiveron turns around and he's like, my Coney dog was good, and like his face is like all smattered in like Chilean cheese. He's blind, so he can't tell it's still cotton.
I'm just gonna quietly look at him, and then I'm gonna take out a handkerchief or something, and I'm just gonna quietly, without saying anything, start wiping his mouth a little.
Yeah, Kuzon doesn't say anything, but he like tries to make eye contact with Thiveron and like points at a corner of his cheek, and then kind of like thinks and then realizes why that's stupid, and then like puts his hands away.
You know what? Let's just agree to not say anything about this. Let's just quietly clean the doggo's mouth and be on our way.
And Thiveron's like, what? Is there something on my face?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
He'll just shrug his shoulders and...
So, I suppose that Prava also follows behind, like,
Yeah.
oh, finally, I was not
Prava's just sitting there, like, checked out. Everyone's like, we're going. Like, we're done here? Oh, good. Just kind of gets up and leaves. Doesn't even notice that Aiden was even, like, hurt at all. Doesn't...
fighting. Back to tourism.
Yeah.
Time to check out the Windcatcher archives.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's our next destination, right?
Yeah. Kuzon mentioned wanting to go there, and it's on our way, so...
As you start traveling around, around about 12 or so minutes or 15 minutes of walking, the desert area that you're walking through does have some wildlife and, well, many spiky and not so friendly wildlife, but nothing that can really pose a serious threat to you in this section of it, at least. It's very much like Akiton in that regard. And as you're coming up on the Windcatcher archives, you can see a trio of buildings, mostly walled off from the outside world, some basic security outside, barely wearing any proper, well, military-esque armor, and the basic renter security type guys.
Kuzon's gonna like wave to them and just be like, "Hey, what you guarding?"
Outsiders. You may head on in if you desire. It is open.
Ooh.
What exactly is this place, though? Some sort of library, or...?
You're new. If you wish to know about it, then that's easy enough. I can provide answers. Well, this building overlooking the salad is the headquarters of the Eco Balancers. Currently, the Doyen is out at the moment at the assembly.
So this is a nature-y study place.
Well, Viadari has a delicate ecosystem. They must be balanced and cared for. What I also know is that they may be looking into supplanting some of this fauna into Akiton's atmosphere to stop its decline.
Actually, that reminds me then, because that's perfect. I have a piece of information to drop off to the place.
Oh, really? Then you should head inside.
Yeah. No, do you remember, Ash, when I took that that information off the microchip that was in that sand shark? Or like the sand whale?
Yes, the endangered creature.
Yeah, I can drop this off to them.
Oh, okay.
So you wish to head inside?
Yeah.
Somebody, as you head on inside, contrasting to the stark, almost, well, it's not very interesting building on the outside, especially with the wall standing up. But as you head inside, the interior is decorated with pictures of bright landscapes and clippings of various fauna, like placed across the wall for viewing and study. You can see what appears to be a few people standing around looking at the various clippings, though the uniform of the eco-balancers are quite easy to make out since they're the only one in proper uniform.
Okay. I'm gonna march up to the front desk, and Kuzon is just I need to speak to whoever is in charge of the ecological study of Akiton. It's important.
Oh, I do apologize. Doyan Isaac's Jana Matasri of House Halvan is currently out at the moment.
Can you hold on to something for them?
If you wish to ask somebody else, there is other people here of senior staff.
Yes.
Of course. I shall collect them right now. And you can hear like they get on a call And soon, somebody in a slightly more elegant uniform comes out and goes, "Ah, welcome." It's a female Kavasa.
I have some important piece of information that I think needs to remain on the down low, at least for a little bit.
Oh, if you wish to have a private meeting, please, cover me. She gestures for you to follow.
I'm going to sit her down, and like, I don't know if they have blinds, but I'm gonna close the blinds. It's like, I have something very important to share with you.
It's clear she thinks you're a bit over dramatic of this, but she does nod. It's like, please. And she holds out a hand for the device. Where does she wish to share?
I basically was like, I'm, as you probably would have guessed, I'm from Akiton. I grew up there, and in all my time, I've heard all kinds of rumors and legends, but I have proof that something still roams the surface. The sand whale, and I'm gonna show up a picture of like Prava doing a selfie like directly in front of it.
It's like, oh, a sand whale. I wonder what. And she looks at it for a moment. It's like, what is this creature?
I don't know what the scientific name for it is, but I know that it's very, very endangered, and I have like a chip with like the information on like the radio equipment and everything like that. It's like there was a project that was responsible for monitoring these creatures and keeping them on the down low before we found them, but it looks like they've been debunked for some time.
She's looking through it for a few moments, like, this information is interesting. Basically, you wish to make a claim that you discovered this creature again, correct?
Something like that. If all you can promise me is that somebody may be able to take over monitoring responsibilities for these creatures and to keep it on the down low until their populations are stable, then I'd consider that good enough for me.
I believe that we'll be able to do this. We are in contact with the Xeno Wardens as well, so I suspect we will also be able to have them look after the creature from anybody attempting to hunt it. We will study these data and these pictures. Would you give us your information? We'll be able to send a reward to you as soon as we're able.
You know, I was doing this strictly from a philanthropic sense, but I do like rewards.
I mean, it would be rude to say no when people are being, generous.
Yeah, it'd be so rude. All right, I'll give them the information to that I found for the radio tower, so they should be tuned into it and begin tracking it. And I'll also give them my deeds.
Understood. Well, here we honor hard work, and it should not go unrewarded. Do not worry. We will be able to look after this creature. Thank you.
Yeah, Kuzon kind of just has a weak smile. It's I grew up in that hellhole, so anything I can do to try to make it a better place is good.
Well, hopefully with our latest projects, we will soon be able to make it, well, much less of, as you say, a hellhole.
Yeah, the technical term.
Exactly. She seems rather more receptive to you now.
Fancy. Yeah, and Kuzon just kind of nods, and it's thank you very much, I appreciate it.
The locals around here seem pretty handy.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
Just Kuzon, sharp glance behind himself, looks backward, angry at Aiden, turns around, smiling at this one.
Did you actually say that, Aiden? Because we don't actually know.
You know what? Because of Kuzon's reaction, yep, he definitely let that one slip.
You could just see her. She's still smiling, somewhat pleased because she got to discover a lost creature. She's very pleased by this discovery.
Alright, Thiveron, don't worry. It's time to continue our tourist attraction run. On to the next tourist trap.
I was just tell that help me.
So, please, is this really necessary?
Right, I believe that Prava is
Can we be
interested.
done with the shopping arc?
I believe that the next place of interest is the temple, the monastery that Prava is interested in. Let's see what kind of souvenirs they sell.
Yes, that's.
I mean, I'm looking
Alright.
more like life-affirming advice and training, but souvenirs would be fine too.
I bet they have a little
Thiveron turns to you and says,
celestial
life advice and training is more of what you'll find here rather than souvenirs. So you're in luck.
So, yes, we're heading towards Pharaoh's Monastery. Let me bring that up. I got the tourist plaque here. Essentially, as you go on up, you can see that the monastery is very much in prayer right now. You can see basically they're just meditating around, focusing. You can hear what sounds like almost like combat from within the inside, but less about fighting each other and more just a lot of explosions.
Do I see anyone that has like a solar moat like what I have?
Yes, a few of the priests do.
Excellent. I'm gonna march right up to one of them, and I'm gonna like, as I'm going, like my star is gonna glow brighter, trying to get their attention.
When you approach is a human that is actually one of the priests, well, one of the very few ones, and he goes, "Ah, welcome."
Prava's kind of wordless for once in his life. He just kind of shuffles his foot awkwardly and like avoids direct eye contact, but watches the guy's moat fly around his head.
Yeah, you can tell that he was probably using his moat to float slightly off the ground while he was meditating as he stands upright and brushes off his robe. Welcome to the Podalex Monastery.
Yes.
Have you come to learn about the circle?
The circle?
Yes, the circle, the cycle. Oh, sorry, yes, old human.
No,
It's
no.
called the cycle.
Yeah. Prava kind of points to his star, and he's like, "I want to know more about this. Whatever that entails. I've
You.
never seen another one before.
So you have come for training?
I mean,
Please,
like,
come with me while we talk.
yeah.
Your friends may come as well.
All right. Thank you." And Prava just kind of sheepishly follows, kind of looks back to his friends.
I'll walk up. I'll just be like walking next to you, and just like looking at all these people kind of doing their thing, and it's like, wow, if I had hair, it'd probably fall out walking through here.
You can actually see that there, as you walk through the temple, you can see off behind some reinforced glass, there are some people training Solaran powers. You can see bolts of fire, ice being thrown, some being used to summon blades and cutting dummies in half.
Huh. Everyone's are so much rougher than mine. Is that what training leads to? Is that
What do you mean? Oh, use of power? Well, your power will grow, of course, as you train with us.
That's kind of the opposite direction I was hoping to go. I would like to be less powerful, please and thank you.
I seem to have misunderstood your intentions. I assumed you were a new student coming to train. Is there something else? I do apologize.
I don't know. I don't know anything about the nature of these powers. Like, I understand that they're involved with celestial truths. I've come into a bit of an understanding about the nature of creation and destruction, but I don't know why. I don't know how to stop it. I've been becoming stronger and stronger as time goes on, and Prava starts to shake. He's like, "Am I dangerous? Am I gonna hurt people?
The Solaran powers are nothing to be afraid of. They are simply another. It's all part of a cycle, creation and destruction. We gain these powers so we may take part in this cycle. Mystic is able to summon forces, just as anybody is able to pull trigger on a weapon."
Prava starts to like tear up a little bit. And I've been having dreams of these powers growing beyond my control, of black holes or of solar eruptions, of swallowing the things around me.
It is understandable to be fearful, but these powers, they will likely not go away. You said you obtained them through an accident?
Yeah, back on Absalom, a friend and I. My recollection's a little hazy of it, but Prava puts his hands in his chest. He's like, my friend implied that there's something inside of me.
Perhaps it would be best to have that looked at, but I can at least put your mind at ease. No matter how destructive the force, one can refine it. If you refine your powers more, then it can be less a destructive explosion and more like the edge of a blade. You'll be able to direct the power to where you need it most.
I see. And how would I go about honing it? Where do I begin?
Well, it seems like you have the power aspect down. If you wish to use your powers in other ways, we have paths for that.
Prava looks pretty jealously at the people who have armor instead of a weapon. He's just kind of like, damn, that would have been nice.
Yeah, you can just see him summon up armor, shields, and stuff like that.
Can I learn to manifest other aspects, or is it like a personal?
It is partly personal. The shape is based on how you say imagination or who you are.
This is a lot more than I expected. I didn't expect to see so many people with this.
Well, know that you are not alone. We are all part of a cycle after all.
A cycle, huh?
Exactly.
Prava just breaks down crying, right there, right in front of this guy. I've been alone for so long.
I said Kuzon just coming in for the shoulder pats.
Ah.
My friend, he seems to have taken the opposite direction of me. He's going a strange way with these powers. Oh, I hope he's not alone with this. I hope he's seen something like this.
While I do not know your personal troubles, I can at least tell you that such temples as this around the packed worlds can help you, and so can we. If you wish to take some time and come back when you are ready, I will prepare something.
Please, as soon as I can, as soon as possible. When can I come back?
My name is Yosh, by the way.
Prava.
It is good to meet you. You may come back whenever you desire, whenever you are ready. I do suggest that you have some more time to yourself on Viadari before you come back.
All right. Well, I'm sure we've got business to take care of elsewhere. As soon as we wrap that up, I'll come back and see you, Josh, please.
He gives a small bow. He clearly respects what you're going through.
I was just gonna take a second and he's gonna look around at all these people manifesting their powers again. But he seems too shy to talk to anybody. So he just kind of shuffles out.
Josh gives a small wave to you as you leave. Emotional times for Prava. You're no longer alone.
Yeah,
Other people
Kuzon's
know
kind of
Geralt.
Kuzon's like kind of awkward. Like he's trying to be like, I'm your friend, your shoulder pats, but he you can kind of tell that he doesn't really know what to say either, so it's really awkward.
Prava actually is gonna probably make Kuzon. Prava holds Kuzon's hand the whole way out.
Ah,
He just kind of grabs it and just kind of awkwardly. He won't make any eye contact with anyone on the way out. He just kind of looks down, grabs Kuzon's hand, and just kind of bolts.
I have a feeling that what turned in was a shopping episode that turned into the summer vacation tourism episode is now turning into the training arc.
By the way, I'm assuming Aiden wasn't that interested in the tempo, and he believe it or not, but he actually, when it comes to religion and stuff like that, he's at least been respectful of people, the bare minimum, so he decides it's better for him to probably stand outside rather than do something dumb in there. But when he sees Prava and Kuzon coming out, he's like, oh boy, here we go again. Because he notices
that's
that Prava's
really-
immediately like distressed. He's like, I'm assuming after we hit the museum, we're going to a bar. Could use a few stiff drinks myself. Like Aiden doesn't know what to do. He's like, well, let's fix those issues with alcohol.
We'll cope with it how I cope with everything.
Alcohol helps.
For her, Prava kind of flinches.
Thiveron, just to like make the conversation like more light, is like, well, next on our stop is the Museum of Ancestral Technology, and then we'll go see the Delamar Gallery, and
He's like a fucking tourist guy. He's like, coming down here, then we have.
I just like the idea
Thiveron.
that like the whole time like Prava's like white. It's like I want to see everything. Like oh my god, this fucking guy. And then he goes really sad, and then he's like, okay, friend, let's check out everything.
So Thiveron,
Totally the other way.
so Thiveron, do you know if the museum has any good souvenirs there? They've probably got some high-tech souvenirs, right?
souvenirs, likely, yes.
Cool.
It is a museum of the Kasata's pre-journey technology. It is actually fairly interesting. They have a fully functional Starfighter from the 4.
You hear that, Prava? They probably have a lot of cool shit in there. Starfighters, I mean, aren't those the things that go? "Meow"? You wanna see that, right? I mean, come on, that's a classic. You gotta see that one at least.
There'll be cool things to put selfies in front of for your social media account.
In all seriousness, though, like, Thiveron is going to place a hand on Prava's shoulder. They just tell him telepathically that it might be painful to think of his friend right now. Visiting this monastery and refining his powers to use it for the protection of others will likely bring him to see his powers in a new light, and may potentially lead to a path to help his friend.
I hope you're right about that.
And as you guys head through the Grisila, you pass by over well-maintained gardens towards the museum. However, as you start making your way through the beautiful gardens of Grislan, you have a sudden call on your comms.
Prava's all about that. I'm gonna answer that. Be like, hello?
You can see one of the zero-risk security mercenaries calling you up and says, yeah, we have some deliveries here at the hangar for you if you want to pick them up at any time.
Deliveries? Aiden, did you order something?
No?
Kuzon?
You got me, Chief.
Okay, we're in
Also,
the
your
middle.
robot's getting very annoyed.
Oh yeah, we left Ataika there.
Yeah, maybe we should pick him up. I feel like he would have
Yeah.
liked to be there for the proving pits. I feel like he missed out.
Definitely, yeah. Let's come back and get him. Ataika, can you check on these packages while we're on the way back?
Sure.
By that he means like open and confirm what they are. Don't do anything else with them.
Make sure they're no explosives, you know. I'm sure you can take it.
So for context, the last thing that happened was the buff robot that we met there. I left you both to. I basically made him fix my ship, and I assume you were helping it.
Fair, probably did happen.
Yeah,
When we
his
say
name's-
buff robot, we mean like he literally replaced like his robot parts with like synthetic muscles.
yeah,
So he
Nice.
can lift. He's a lifting robot.
he's called BR09.
Brian.
So yes, don't worry, it won't take you, since you're going straight there, it would just basically take you about 20 minutes or so to get
Gonna
to one of the
cost us
hubs.
half the day. So there's hub station 3 there. Are the other hub stations like nearby? I don't see any others in this map.
Mainly there's these locations around the area. For instance, pardon me, there is one up in here, up in this city, and I would say it was probably down here somewhere.
Near the
other one.
jungle. Near
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think one of these buildings is it's not clearly marked though. Only Hub Station 3 is marked for some reason. I don't know why.
So it's like that little like round style building look right there, or
Yeah, essentially it's like one of these buildings, so it could be like any one of these, to be honest.
We'll go check one of these things that we assume to be a hub station then. Should be a
Yes,
quick
I'm
little-
gonna just say that this building here is also a hub station, for one that clearly, is marked out, unless
Marvelous.
that's for ancestry. Either way. So yes, you can easily get back up to the thing, right about 10, 15 minutes or so. And as you enter into the Hangar Bay, you can see most of the mercenaries. Some have clearly wandered off into the Adari. Some are sitting around playing cards with that woman that you were picking up, Z. You can see her just playing out cards, drinking with the guys. And of course, the pile of objects that you have been delivered to. And I assume that, Ataika, you look through it, so I can easily just tell you what is there.
Mhm.
Look at my session plans. There we go. You have been delivered a care package from Outlook Industries. There is another small, what seems to be a small data pad that seems to be addressed to Aiden. And then there seems to be a care package from the Eco Balancers, which also seems to be rather large, like the size of a Ataika.
I'm gonna jump and hang out to the side of the box.
Right. So essentially, as you open the care packages, the Outlook Industry ones is from the actual surveying place that Kuzon, Prava, and Thiveron went to. And for rescuing Higgins, you received 600 credits. For the return of the ID tags and the intact station, 400 credits. You have also gained a letter of thanks and an offer of a favor from Outlook Industries, who are survey experts. They are experts in finding such magical relics and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So they're studiers of relics, ruins, and also, of course, their minor business of studying rocks. If you
So
really want to
1,000
start with.
credits total, 200 credits each.
Mm-hmm. And
There's not a deductible here from when I stole all their mining robots.
I assume that no one told, because Higgins was completely out cold during all of that.
Maybe.
When crime pays
I
off.
think Kuzon did tell Higgins that we robbed the place on the way out. Didn't he specifically say that?
No, I think Higgins said he wouldn't tell anybody. I think
Oh,
Higgins
Yeah.
keep my lips sealed.
Hey Yosh, in
Yeah,
case you
yeah,
didn't
sure.
realize yet, let me tell you, we're the heroes of the story. We just still
I
on
know.
the side, you know?
Oh, I gathered that.
Kuzon's a kleptomaniac, so.
Prava doesn't think of it as stealing. All right, this was a place ravaged by aliens. Everybody was dead. This is.
So you
Our
guys
own
are okay with splitting that cash, even though some of us weren't here for the session?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
a crew.
I'm alright with it.
Things even.
Okay, so 200 credits each then, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And it's not done yet, because the reward for the sand whale, this is from the Eco Balancers. They also have a favor, basically a line of credit for favors from them. So you can offer a favor if you want to mark that down anywhere from two of the industries. But inside the massive crate, there are also 10 what seems to be research type crates, like specimen crates. And in the letter that's addressed to you, they offer you the task that if you want, since you've clearly shown yourselves to be one with nature, you can bring rare animals or fauna to them, fauna, flora to them in these crates, and they will pay you a finder's fee. And given that, they also give you a finder's fee of another 1,000 credits for finding the sand whale.
Money.
And they have named the sand whale the Akaton Kuzon sand whale.
Ooh. I like that.
The ego just expanded tenfold.
Yeah, I wouldn't even need the gold if I just knew that from now on I had an animal named after me. I'd be totally down for that.
It's the toughest looking creature on Akaton.
Exactly.
You know what this means, right?
What?
I am one of the universe's most influential biologists, and don't any of you forget it.
Oh, wait, I forgot to ask. Did you put up that scrap for sale before you
Scrap.
left?
The scrap, like the scrap that we pulled off of.
The ship scrap.
I know I left some of it to help with the repairs. Like, I think my intention was to use, if they needed extra scrap, to use the stuff I brought, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have sold it. Like,
Alright, hang on. I will change your
I would have sold to what wasn't used to repair the ship, basically.
And you gain another 2 ship points for the scrap you retrieved.
Ooh, nice. Does that mean that we're gonna have enough energy to equip that new gun we got?
You have exactly 4 extra build points to mess around with your ship at any point you wish.
That's hot.
It's exciting.
So, yeah, essentially, you also have the thing addressed to you, Aiden. One moment.
Man, it's starting to feel a lot like Christmas. I feel you misspelled that word, but I'm gonna assume I know what
did.
that word means.
Yes, you can. I misspelled it, don't worry. Despite me actually having it written down here, I should just copy and paste it. What was I, an idiot? Anyway, so... yes, that is essentially what you picked up here, and I assume you're going to pick up Ataika to resume your tour?
Yes.
Possibly.
Did he just come with the delivery?
He was basically going through it and like sorting things out.
Just imagine if he was like inexplicably in one of the boxes, one of the sealed boxes, and
Yep.
and Ataika was like, it's like hugging whatever was inside it.
It just felt like home for him, you know? It's like the box he came in.
Exactly. Right, you're back down in the Grisland and the lovely gardens. It's so serene here. You can see a few people enjoying their day around the pools, some sort of celebrations going on.
Every excuse Prava has to look to the west, he does so. You all see him eyeballing the jungle, looking sad.
Yes, the jungle sticks out like a sore thumb, while the gardens are prim and proper and very focused on certain details. The jungle, it looks like a chaotic mess of just plants and, well, even from here you can tell things moving around inside.
Prava wants to go to the jungle.
Everybody with a brain wants to be nowhere near the jungle.
I don't want to get eaten by a giant plant.
Don't get me wrong, the gardens are very nice, very cultural, very peaceful, but there's unknown over there. I was told it was.
They literally make you sign a waiver when you go in there, by the way. They're like, you will not sue us if you die in here.
Can we see the tempering pool from where we are? What's the tempering pool?
Oh, definitely. You can see like a few people around it. As I said, they're having celebrations around this tempering pool. As you see, like people like celebrating, they do take notice as you're heading on over, and if like someone wave over to you, very happy. Like they all seem very cheerful compared to all the rigidness that you had seen from the guards and the like so far.
Prava waves back with exactly twice their amount of excitement and happiness.
That's a lot of excitement. I have just as many arms to wave.
Sure, but he doesn't wave those around. That'd be inappropriate.
Oh yeah, that would be lewd.
Oh,
Prava
so there's
has
an influential
arms.
figure here. What's this? Sheeran
no
have
arms?
reproductive limbs on their chest. Doing anything with their reproductive limbs is considered lewd and inappropriate.
Oh,
Exactly.
that's weird. So it's okay if they are dangling around, but as soon as they start twitching, that's when it's bad.
Yeah. Like if you pick up a frying pan with your weird little chest arms, you're considered a perverted freak.
What happens if somebody like tosses something at your little dangly arms and you instinctively catch it?
I think the instinct would be that, because that's like someone going for your balls, right? So I think you like get the other hands in the way pretty quick.
Exactly.
I think I've lost the narrative of this conversation.
Yeah, I'm just going to talk to a man. Well, I want to go see this man everyone's paying attention to. You're all talking about my weird little arms. Like, this is harassment, all right? I can't have this place in the workplace.
So yeah, essentially you can see them having this celebration. The people they're focusing on is moving towards the like tempering pool. You can see them like dipping their hands in the pool.
Greetings, everybody. I'm new to the area. Is there some sort of event going on?
Yes, welcome. You can see though this slightly elderly Kuzon. His skin's a bit darker grey. It's harder to tell with this race when they get older. But this one, he's on in his years now. His arms behind his back, and he's like, yes. Are you new to Riadari?
Yeah, first time visiting. I'm from the Absalom area, but I gotta say, this is way more impressive of a construction than that old place.
Thank you. But you asked before. Yes, this is. Like, he gestures towards the pair, like, dipping their hands in. This is what's known as the tempering. Currently, this is a joint celebration of two people, in fact.
Oh, it's a wedding?
No. It is more about, well, there's no time to actually, well, book time for a pool. If two celebrations happen to meet each other, we tend to form both celebrations together.
Yeah, that's the good thing about celebrations. The more the merrier, right, Prava? Yeah, go ahead. Get a piece of that action. And Aiden's gonna take a page out of Kuzon's book and also give him a shove in the right direction, which is the party direction.
Do you think they'd be comfortable if I recorded, or is it more of a somber...
Oh, if you wish to record, then you may. 1 second, I'll ask them. He wanders off for a moment.
Not this shit again.
All right. So what you
Dude, this has been they've been on a tour since they got here, and it's lovely. Just Thiveron, it's going.
I like how Prava is recording everything for his social media at the end of the game. All right, boys. So this is Galactus. We're just about to face him to save the universe. Remember to hit that foul button so we can save the universe.
You're Avarp here. I'm here to save the universe for you and you and you.
Remember to subscribe. Click that bell notification. And this video is sponsored by the Raid Shadow Casino.
Just like I need the support from my Solarian army, my Solarian bros.
Isn't that basically Goku's power from Dragon Ball Z? Give me your power! Click that subscribe button!
Prava's gonna do a spirit bomb, but it's gonna be super chats to fund like a death laser.
Oh shit, son.
Patreon.
Like the minimal donation is like 100, and whoever donates like 1,000 gets a super captain emote that he helped save the universe.
Top super chat gets to say what I yell out when I activate the orbital laser.
Oh shit,
And, like,
son, you're
all
gonna
of
get
us-
some massive donations.
All of us
for
are
that.
part of the Star Fam, and it's like it's like a multi-channel organization. And like, but Ataika handles the like chatterbait section.
Mm-mm.
The
They're
thing
going
is,
to,
the thing is, VTubers that are cross-dressing men is now a thing, so that's totally legit.
Yeah, dude. Ataika masturbates on camera for money.
That being said, we haven't done it in a while. Would you roll 1d10 for me, Prava?
I like how this went. I appreciate you guys.
Thiveron is still just kind of like kicking a rock out of boredom.
Fucking tourists. Prava, adding on to your 2,000, you now have a total of 12,000 followers.
Damn.
My community, it grows.
Oh my god.
Is this his arc? His arc is that he becomes Pokemon.
Is this where he's gonna make his stream debut and he's gonna be in skimpy clothing that barely hide his luscious shell and he's gonna get a lot of simps?
Prava does stream with a female persona. He does use like female pronouns and like female voice when he talks to his stream.
And does he have like the fucking VTuber like character on screen?
No, himself. but he does
Motion,
use a voice filter
motion,
this time more.
the motion thingy where, you know, gathers what you're
Yeah,
doing.
he's the thing is he's a very big he's a big draw for both female and male Shirin.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why he's growing so quickly.
So what you're saying is the reason he's so popular is because he's sexually ambiguous.
I mean, not to a Shirin he isn't. For a Shirin, they know exactly what's up. But yeah, I'd say for all you mammals, you'd be like very confused. Prava doesn't like step on any toes. He just like floats around people taking in the culture.
Thiveron takes the opportunity to go sit near a bench near the pool, and he just reflects on coming back to the Dari. He thought he would never really have to come back here, and then he just kind of walks over to the pool and kneels down, and then he just kind of anoints himself with it and says the third time, and then gets back up and walks away.
Oh, by the way, while Thiveron was reflecting near the pool, because Aiden still doesn't understand what's happening, he's like, whatever, he's doing his thing, that's fine. He strips down to his underwear and only his gloves, and as Thiveron's reflecting near the water, cannonball! And he splashes everywhere.
Aiden, did you do that because you know, like Thiveron outright like said like these are not for swimming?
Oh, no, never mind. Nope, I didn't realize that. That's my bad.
Yeah, like the thing is, he said any of the other waterways are like for swimming and enjoying yourselves.
But
Any
this
other one,
specific
but this
one!
This one is the only one you're not allowed.
Okay, no, we're not
A
doing that.
major focal point of their entire culture. I don't think peeing in the pool.
I don't want the local like Segway mocops to come and be like, dude, the fuck. No.
There's even like two pools like about 500, 1,000 feet away from you that you could just walk over. That they're the ones you can swim.
Okay,
This
okay.
one specifically.
In that case, I'm going to that one to, you know, cannonball inside.
Okay, that's fine. There are even some people like enjoying themselves in the water, like with their feet in it and everything. Yeah, that works.
The worst you do is splash those people, not insult a culture and tradition. Prava sees Thiveron do his little thing, and he throws his camera to Kuzon, and then walks to do the same thing. And he just puts one hand in the water, puts it to his head, and it's just like the first time. Kind of just copying what Thiveron did. And then he looks back to Kuzon like, huh? You get it? You get it?
Kuzon got it, but you see that like in the very top like 5%, like top 10% of the screen, one of his claws is just like slightly.
So yeah, Aiden, how are you going to dry off?
Yeah, so... Yeah, I was thinking about that before I jumped in there, but I'm like, I'll figure something out. I guess the figuring out part came, Yeah, I got nothing. What's the temperature like? Is it hot?
It's fairly warm within these areas. It's close to the desert portion.
It will dry out. So I'm just gonna put on my regular pants and just put on a tank top and go like that. It's a little annoying because the gloves are wet, but I definitely keep them on.
The others at the pool are just watching this human who just went for a swim walk out soaking wet and heading towards like his group of even weirder friends. It's like, what? And he's just tripping along the garden as he goes.
It's fine, I'm just watering the gardens wherever I go. I'm doing my part.
I assume you're going to head into the museum?
Yep.
You are eventually going to come across the entrance. It doesn't look like a building that can hold a tiny starship. It looks more like a shack. So essentially, as they like motion you through the doors and you head down, you start going like down this sloped corridor that clearly goes underground. There's paintings and murals of tales of past, like like errors and the like in the Adari as they traveled through space at sublight to this location. Generations going past in these beautiful paintings, and soon as you come out, you see another 20 by 20 area, and finally you walk through this area and you see a massive building. One of the biggest buildings you've seen in the Gristland. It seemed like that small entrance was simply the entryway to the actual area where there was a nice spacious garden within the forested sort of area.
Oh, impressive.
You can see the building is very stylized with wide open windows to let as much light as possible through. And you can see some people walking around, like seeing their culture and the like.
So it's mostly just like paintings and statues and stuff, or are there like exhibits?
If you head on inside, there is like exhibits and the like already there, paintings and such, and you can see the technology side is actually through like the area. Essentially, the paintings even depict the technology of the time. So if you want to head on through, you can see somebody come up to you and say, "Hello, would you like me to guide you through our museum?"
Absolutely, yes.
I'm just like, thank God I can take a rest from doing it myself.
Well, this is just to make sure I'm not too far behind. This is the museum. Is this the Museum of Ancestral Technology?
Correct, sir.
Where are your weapons?
Ah, of course. The first thing outsiders always ask. Please, follow me.
I'd actually like to see old
by the way, as he
home-use
says
items.
that-
I'd like to know how people lived, their cooking ware, their...
As he says that, by the way, Aiden pipes up. I'm more interested in their drying mechanisms and comfy chairs.
If you wish a small drying area, sir, we do have a small river going through one of the exhibits, which demonstrates how our technology of our rivers work within the Adari. There is a small drying station there.
Oh, cool. See you nerds later. And Aiden fucks off.
You know, maybe he should have waited until I told him. Does he even know how to read, Kuzon?
Nope.
I don't think he knows how to read in general.
So it's like, I'm sure he'll find his way. And he's like, please, follow me.
Kuzon would be like, what's your old mining equipment like?
Ah, the mining equipment. That would be in our Salvagers section. That is in the last area, since we show off some of the finds we had during our, well, expedient travels.
Kuzon is like vibrating, and like he's like rubbing his hands together, and anybody who knows him well enough means that he's contemplating robbing this place.
As he takes you through the big like armored doors into the area above, you can see just floating on this sort of anti-gravity platform, there is a small fighter of some kind, a very old fighter.
I did want a fighter.
I see you're viewing one of our Atragomontan fighter craft. It was from our original home planet, in fact.
I guess here's my question: Are the schematics of this thing publicly available? Like, are the schematics for any of these pieces of technology public?
It is a replica, so it could be replicated if you so desired. I mean, the schematics are on display.
Snapchat.
Nods.
If you truly wanted to build one. Like, he doesn't exactly seem like that worried that you want to build one. Probably because even from looking at it, it looks like a very, very old fighter. Like, you could probably make one out of scrap metal that could probably beat it. It could probably flies though. It actually says so in the exhibit. It's fully functional.
Yeah, nod. I mean, if it's something, you gotta start small, right? If we're gonna build something, you have to start somewhere, you know what I mean?
Oh, but you're here for weapons. Please, this way. And as he gestures, you can see like all these old weapons on display, but you can also see a firing range that people are actually picking up the replicas and firing down the way towards targets.
By the way, if the staff here allows him to, Prava has taken more pictures than he's taken steps into this place.
They seem fine. They seem to encourage like practical interaction with their exhibits. So I'm glad you're enjoying our culture.
As we approach the firing range, I'm just looking up and looking at Taika's face.
Ataika's just walking towards the firing range.
So we have some very interesting jump jets.
Jump
Be
jet.
careful.
That's-
Yes, you have to sign a waiver before you use these things, but otherwise, when you walked in here, you signed the waiver automatically. If you put on a jump jets, essentially their mechanical value is that you can literally jump like 30 feet.
Don't gotta tell me twice. Prava's got these things on his feet.
They are, however, not used for descent.
I mean, they're called
So-
jump jets, not, you know.
I'll worry about that on the way down. Whoosh.
You're like, woohoo! Thankfully, the jump jet area is padded, so you're not going to take like 1d6 fall damage.
Prava aims his selfie cam at himself, and he leaps into the air and tries to do as many flips as possible on the way down.
Roll acrobatics. Of course, we have also our vehicles. There is an old Cavison tank over there.
Tank.
Yes, over there. You cannot move in it, of course, but you are able to fire a cannon if you so desire.
Yes.
Your eyes go wide. Yes.
I'm just gonna scurry into the tank. I need a tank.
Well, if you wish, of course, the weapon is locked to a certain angle. We don't want any accidents to happen to the rest of the museum. But as you can see, we have provided a nice, easy to destroy vehicle in front of you. If you just
I'm
aim
like-
down that way and he puts down like
He
goggles.
gets halfway through his discussion. I've already aimed and fired the thing. Like I don't even let him finish.
As you do, you have the option to charge the cannon. Do you charge the cannon?
I do charge the cannon.
So in other words, you're holding down fire button and it starts to shake a little bit. It's like, as you can see, plasma start building up inside, and then, and it just slams into a vehicle, blowing it back into pieces, and basically both projectile and flame just all together. Just
You just hear like a very like Stitch style like.
As he fires the cannon.
Prava emails Kuzon a video of him firing the cannon.
Oh yeah, Aiden, you'll probably hear the cannon if you're on your way back by this point.
Oh yeah, in case you're wondering what Aiden has been up to, this is Aiden. He found the gravity room.
This wasn't it wasn't for trying room. This is not cool.
To be fair, if I've been falling for 40 minutes, I'm probably dry.
Yeah, the water came up and it just floated off.
Or is the moisture catching up with me every time? Oh my god, I'm in wet hell. I can't dry myself.
You went to this section of your museum that shows the Adari's artificial gravity, and you just start freaking the fuck out like a cat.
So like all this stuff is going on, and Thiveron is just kind of like unimpressedly standing there.
Seen it
As
all
everybody's
before.
doing this. Yep. And like as Kuzon destroys that vehicle, I'm just imagining like there's a big like shockwave of energy, and he just sits there unimpressed as his fur starts blowing in the wind like a hot air dryer.
Just unimpressed eyes blow slightly.
Can we just
These are
buy
few
this one?
vehicles.
How much for the tank? We wanna buy it.
How much? It's like if you won't take the whole tank, how much for the cannon?
For the cannon? I'd have to get back to you on that.
Oh shit, we can actually buy it?
Well,
I guess
that's
it's like
my
assuming how much it would take to make it.
Dude, this
I
is
guess.
the best museum ever. Not only do you get to test the tech, you can just take it home.
Like, I think what it means is like the schematics are public, so it's like estimating how much it would cost to make one.
Yeah, you can take it to one of the crucibles and have it made. Like
I guess we do need to make a tank at some point in the future. I don't know how far down the road.
that would be
I don't think
amazing.
we have a justifiable reason.
I
to
mean,
need a tank,
We
but-
need a heavily armored transport vehicle. Might as well turn it into a tank.
Let's get something with 4 wheels that we can all fit in first, and we'll talk about how to soup it up from there.
You'd be surprised how much of a hurdle that is. I think he's right.
So yes, I assume that you bring Aiden back from his little adventure.
Yeah, I was like, Aiden, I know you're having fun here, but I would like to get to the temple sometime.
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
this
yeah.
Cycle.
Of course. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get right on that. I think I'm mostly done with this museum. A lot of falling, not a lot of things to see.
Look at all the things I've seen.
Look at all the things.
Alright, Kuzon, Prava, you guys had your phone? Come on, we're getting ready to leave.
But we've only seen like half the. Okay.
Don't worry, we can come back later. It's not like we're never coming back here.
Are you sure you do
Prava,
not wish to see the
Prava,
salvaging
they're
area
free.
before?
They're free on 4th days.
Yeah, essentially the attendant's like, are you sure you did not wish to see the salvaging area on your way out?
Yeah, if it's on the way out, then heck yeah. No,
Of course, we can easily just go around. It's a circle, very easy to follow, like your way in this place. Unless you go in the middle, then you probably need an attendant. I mean, there's stuff like the anti-gravity room and the like. Tourists could get lost in there. It's like, and you wish to see that, correct? He's like looking down to Kuzon.
The salvaging area?
Yes.
Yes.
Please follow me. And as he brings you through the doors, like you can see the mining lasers that used to be on the Adari, and they are huge. It takes up at least half a room. It's like, this is one of the smaller lasers.
It's like Kuzon's just like looking in awe, and it's just like, I bet you could excavate 25 tons of plutonium using a laser like this.
Exactly, I'm glad. There's some specs there if you really want them. Well, they've all been converted into actual weaponry nowadays, no need for mining, you know how it is. But some drones are still in operation. This is the drone that was in here. And of course we have, by the way, Ataika, could you roll perception?
That drone am me.
That drone is my mom.
Are you my dad?
It's my papa.
Boy.
Directly in the middle. I have no idea if he's my dad or not.
You do notice something in the, well, not exactly, it's not exactly a pile, but it's like a collection of items. Something catches your eye, but while the sections are numbered, there is a large section, of course, where it is known as, well, it's just marked as the gap. And, well, there's a large pod-like thing the size of you, in fact, a little bigger. It's got very angular architecture with spikes coming off the top. It seems very drop pod-like. And the markings across it match the markings on you.
Turn to the host of the tour and just say, "Open this."
Oh, that. Yes, we found this drifting out in a bunch of scrap and rubble before. We're unsure, but we think we found it just before arriving the Pact Worlds. But opening it, we haven't been able to open it. I mean, unless we wanted to damage it, but scans showed
It's
us that-
climbing amidst his conversation. Ataika like climbs up onto the display case.
While it's interactive, sir, I do suggest you mind some of these things could be. For instance, that rock there is radioactive. I wouldn't suggest. It's like as you get closer, you can hear a small as the pod suddenly reacts to your presence.
I like you see Ataika like roughly, but with good intentions, like palm thrust the host away, kind of like knock him, like not like hard, but like
Yeah, he just like
shove him a
moving
couple
aside,
feet away
yeah.
just in case.
He's like, what? What? What's going on? And you can hear as he goes, presence detected.
I'll look inside.
Well, Prava walks close, ready to react. He's suddenly in danger mode.
Kuzon just like was like patting a mining laser, and then he hears it, and like his head whips around.
As you put your hand to it, Ataika, you hear brother detected. And you hear and a pod starts opening up. Small almost racks start coming out, which should be holding something, but none of them do. They're empty. But in the middle it looks like, well, a U-shaped area. And as it opens up fully, it says, "To partake in our crusade is to be immortal."
Ataika kind of peers inside, thumbing and tapping around the inside of it, like, knowingly. It's like, I know this place. I don't know from where.
You can see the attendant is just in shock. Like, this thing has basically been a scrap metal piece on display for so long, and now it moves. You can just see him like, what? What is-
Kuzon, should we be letting him do this? Shouldn't you, like, some kind of override?
No, it's really cool.
No, shut up. It's cool.
I feel like it's causing problems for the museum staff, and
I'm gonna kind of walk up, and I'm not going to like get between Ataika and what he's doing, but I am gonna move. Like, I'm gonna have my crossbolter out, and I'm gonna like move in and like try to get a look at what he's looking at. So at this point, it's like, oh, a cool thing's happening. Okay.
Some of the other like people who were going on a tour are looking like, what is going on? And as you can see, it remains open for you. It does seem to be activated in a way.
Ataika, the only thing in his head is that he needs to reconnect with something. And he thinks this might be it. So he like leans down underneath the hatch and kind of like plants himself in the mold.
As you face towards the others and plant yourself in a mold, suddenly, and not all that gently, clamps latch onto and pull you slightly deeper into the recess.
Taika, you okay?
I'm fine. It's just the setting up process.
Setting up for what exactly?
Yeah,
As
now
you-
I'm asking questions.
As he's standing there, you can see what appeared to be tools start coming out of the sides, almost like spider's legs coming out and slowly going towards his body, like tapping over his body, small sparks igniting. Only chapter member in vicinity. Upgrading clearance. And as he says that, the doors start slowly to close.
Chance to interfere, guys.
I mean, what do you want, Ataika? Is this what you want?
I have to see this through.
Kuzon just kind of shrugs and then turns to Prava. And he's like, he's his own individual. I have to trust his instincts on this.
Love how calm you guys are about this.
I mean, Kuzon lets Ataika do his own thing. Like, he doesn't view him as like, it's like, he views him as his like, as his helper, as his like, you know what I mean, his protector. But he doesn't assume control over.
Wait.
Object.
Wait. The clamps loosen just a tiny bit, just enough for me to raise my hand and put my hand up in and
Thumbs up.
he says to Kuzon, and he says, "You go, I stay." And then the hatch slowly
References.
closes.
Just like,
As the doors close, he's like, and you can hear like mechanical whirring, grinding on the inside. Sparks and light are shining through the small gaps in the side of the door.
This is where you find out that Ataika, though he does have a metallic and technically speaking senseless body, he does in fact feel pain.
Oh yes, this is not the most gentle process. Are you actually like in pain? Are you sounding it out?
Oh yeah, Ataika will be inside going, ah! As it like grinds into his like core bone.
And as finally it stops, as it reaches the bottom, the doors hiss open. As it opens, you hear, "Rise and endure 1,000 deaths before you yield." And the clamps undo. Across your body, you see slightly different iconography. There's certain markings and things hanging off your body that almost seem to denote rank of some kind. But the most difference that you can find is what happened to your left arm. As you bring it up and grasp your hand, you see in your arm, a small compartment opens up and brings up what appears to be a weapon, a small minified type weapon.
Ataika just says kind of almost inaudibly to you guys, but you can add 1,000 more for the blood of the martyr.
And
Thiveron is supremely confused.
so is everybody else. Like, the attendant is like, "The fuck?"
Like, Thiveron is wondering why nobody stopped him from entering the mystery chamber. He's wondering, how the fuck did this get past the curators? And why did he just walk in?
The voice from the machine was kind of cultish, no? Member of the chapter.
And now,
1,000 deaths.
He's babbling about, 1,000 more. Like, Thiveron pulls a spear out just in case. Like, he's not pointing it at Ataika. But he's not feeling good about this.
Taika, any feelings you want to share with the group?
Wait, does he look different now that he came out of it?
Yes.
He's got, markings.
Yes,
Markings, insignias. Yeah.
Beefed up arm.
Kuzon's not concerned. He's just gonna walk up and begin inspecting it. Like,
Are they in that ancient Babylonian script that I was able to decipher?
It is in the same sort of script that was on him and where he was located. It is slightly different to the ship's script.
Okay.
As if it's kind of like how to explain, kind of like American English and English. Like, there are different words all the way through, and it's like confusing. But if you can decipher
So I'm basically
one,
reading a Cockney Babylonian.
Yeah, so if you can decipher one, you can probably decipher the other.
I'm gonna cautiously approach and see if I can run my hands along the symbols and see if I can understand what they might mean.
The symbols are warm to the touch, after all. They are, well, freshly ground into his body. And as you touch along his body, the symbols themselves, including the ones out on him before, have been renewed. They are much clearer than they were. And you can see things such as, well, the same word before as devotion, and such as martyr. Like certain words that you learned before.
I'm gonna pull out I forget what the name of the port is, but I'm gonna pull out a cable from my arm and I'm gonna look up at Ataika. It's like, may I run a diagnostic?
As you go to maneuver around to the back of his head, close to where the socket would be, you feel Ataika's hand hit your chest.
What's up, big guy?
And his head is jittering and twitching back and forth. He's just processing information. You've seen that before when he's absorbing some information, just kind of organizing it.
I'll just shrug and it's when you're ready, I suppose.
And with that, Ataika just kind of motions to resume the tour.
The attendant, of course,
Been doing.
but the staff are being in shock. But of course, when you motion to, of course, the staff are going to ask you questions like, "Do you know what it is? Do you know this?" I assume you can't or won't tell them. Will you, or what you know?
I mean, these guys seem harmless, and take good care of the things from cultures that they find. So Ataika would tell them in earnest that he knows very little, but he'll tell them what he does know, which would be like that pod and I are from the same place.
I think that before we tell them too much,
That's
Kuzon's
basically all I would tell them, because that's all he knows.
but Kuzon would basically would make them agree. He's just like, it's like, we need to keep this information not publicly available.
Well, of course we're gonna study the item, but this is amazing. Well, you are a sentient being. We can't force you to do anything, but we'd like to come back to studying for some time, or
I'm just gonna look up at Ataika. It's like, would you let them? We have to. So Kuzon kind of turns this, like, the condition that I would impose is that you aren't to share the schematics with anybody outside of the museum, but otherwise you may use it for your study purposes if Ataika agrees.
SROs, it's illegal to share SRO schematics, well, for rebuilding purposes. Yeah, sentient beings, after all, it would be like sharing your medical history.
How's that sound?
Ataika would turn and start to walk away and say, I have a strong feeling that this isn't information we'd want to learn. And you just keep walking.
Alright then. So, as you make your way out, you eventually are outside of a museum, and everything's so nice and cheery. It's lovely. People are going about their days. Nothing strange just happened, I swear.
Nothing's ominous at all.
I will, before we leave, I will pass the individual my contact information, and I'll just let them know it's like sometime we'll have to organize an investigation of that pod.
Understandable. And I think Thiveron's still probably in shock that you even let him step into that machine.
Yeah, he's like, what? Do you possess no sense of danger?
Yeah, Prava agrees with Thiveron wholeheartedly. This is me from the Mystic Boys. This is
one thing you'll find out about Kuzon is when it comes to technology, he doesn't have as much of a developed sense of danger.
Well, I think now would be even a more pertinent time to visit the Temple of Talavith. They might have something about where you come from, Ataika, in their vast records.
I should hope so.
Or if not, we can at least contribute the story.
And finally, Thiveron finally gets to go.
He's like marching triumphantly back to his temple.
I want to imagine that the whole time everybody's walking. This is up to Taika, obviously, but I want to imagine the whole time Kuzon is climbing around and inspecting and appreciating the engraving and the additions and everything like that. We're just walking and Kuzon's clattering around on his body and ooh, fancy. I wonder what this one means.
Yeah, his cloth has been reconstituted. The cloth on his shoulders is all nice and redone now.
Ooh, you're
Looks
looking
like he's
sharp.
fresh off the production line.
It's I don't think that it's I don't even think your last refurbished job looked as sharp as this one.
It's it's just kind of inspecting the new inscriptions and the new shoulder caps and shit.
Hey, Thiveron, I'm kind of worried about the way Kuzon enables Ataika's behavior sometimes. I feel like that's like an unhealthy codependent relationship that we're letting just kind of form over there.
He just kind of looks at you and says, I agree, but I am no psychologist. And I'm not going to make a recommendation based on armchair psychology.
I understand your concern with, amateur diagnosis. However, like, a problem is clearly a problem, no matter what form it's in.
I find it difficult to tell who has the problem, though. Ataika or Kuzon.
I feel like they're just both a little too into weapons. I feel like they take a little too much relish in the shooting parts of our job sometimes.
While that is cause for concern, I am glad that they are able to use their weapons with such wanton lack of restraint.
When it's necessary to defend yourselves, but...
Yeah, you guys probably get the impression, because, like, Kuzon doesn't, like, oh man, I can't wait to use these weapons against people. But when he gets an opportunity to use his gun, he's just like, yes! He's very, when he gets a target he can shoot, he's very enthusiastic about it.
I mean, I'd also extend that over to Aiden. He seems very cavalier with, like, his life and our lives and just life in general. Just, yeah, that's all. I felt like you were the only one I could talk to about that. Sorry.
Thiveron just kind of nods and says, well, I don't see it as necessarily an issue as of yet. I'm more concerned about their lack of restraint in terms of general curiosity than I am their trigger fingers.
I mean, I can't say anything about that. I've put you in particular in danger with my curiosity before.
I'd go willingly into the unknown, but then again, he just kind of trails off.
Yeah, okay. Same page. Which route are we taking to the Temple of Tal? Are we walking through the red corridors, or are we walking through the Dalamar Gallery?
Oh, at this point, like, Thiveron very, like, there's kind of like a hop in his step now, as he's just kind of excitedly retracing his way back through the names of those cities again. Of Covey. I'm assuming we move through Covey and then into Brispex as we go.
Yeah, you're basically taking a shortcut through the gallery, up through the roads and the streets.
What kind of gallery is the gallery now? Is this like an artsy area? Is this like a...
It's very artsy.
Thiveron's least favorite part of the city. Unless there's like some avant-garde smell
I thought
art.
he would like relate art to storytelling. I thought he'd see like the basic connection there.
He just doesn't see anything, literally.
Fair. Okay.
Unless they've got some avant-garde smell exhibits where
It's like, hey, turns out I can't see the art.
Right.
I mean, like, you have someone who's like autistically analytical about about his visual sense in this robot, so through each exhibit you could get a millimeter per millimeter description of each piece.
Oh god.
Okay, so this is Covey. Is that what this picture is? This is the...
Yes, it's the city. You can see that, well, it is mostly of their race and culture around. They're all wandering around, living their daily lives, discussing. You can hear discussing of politics as the Doyen are meeting, and they're like, "What do you think they decide?" And it's like, "Oh, it'll be the same as always. The delay is like that sort of thing."
Okay. Someone's meeting. Kuzon,
I was just gonna say, like, I know what picture this is from the book, and I really, really love the picture.
but you cut out my favorite part of it, which is the really creepy dude in the left corner that's just kind of staring off into nothingness.
Rather than
Yeah,
cut it off, Ash, have you just moved the picture so it hides it? Can you drag the picture so we can see what it is if you haven't cut it?
I think I may have cut him down because I needed to save space on the drive, so I had to cut him. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. The one time you're actually doing a good job and that's actually a fail. I'm disappointed.
You can see more of the station, of course, from this view.
I do like the picture, but
You can see the hub station up here. That's where you came from originally.
Actually, wait, no, this is the second time you do a good job and because of that you fail. Huh, never mind. I remembered another time.
No, I think it's more picturesque this way. Like, just as like a setting, I think it looks better with the guy cut out. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, knowing what the picture
Creepy.
is.
But he's a very good guy, is all.
we'll have
It's
to
just
see.
like a very unsettling close-up of a guy in the alley just kind of staring into the distance.
Exactly.
And everybody
it's
else
weird.
is all peaceful and stuff.
You can see like people like around. You can actually see like some priests of Televar as well. And they like talk. They're like making speeches like in corners as you're going towards a temple. Like, listen to the tale and stuff like that. And I suggest
Yada
you
yada tradition, yada yada story.
Yeah. Tradition, here's the story of our time here on Vidari. I shall recite for the 160th time.
Yep, as is tradition.
As is tradition.
I will traditionally recite tradition.
Kuzon tries to pay attention for like a moment, and his eyes start to get droopy.
When he starts talking about how they brought the bean strain from their planet and was managed to grow it, that's when it started zoning out.
Prava's doing the touristy thing and asking so many questions, like, "Oh, well, how did you adjust the bean sprout to the acidity of the new soil? How did you?"
I suspect that you're being dragged away by the others. I don't know why. I just suspect. He's like, no, please.
Just imagine him like describing the sprouting of a bean in haiku form.
Yeah, exactly. But soon you do arrive at the temple. By the way, Aiden, you haven't spoken for a while. What are you following on with the group?
I mean, yeah, I just don't think like there's anything to add, so I've been quiet.
Break
Okay, I'm just
through
making
the
sure.
soil, going.
I'm not
to
sure
the
what I should be doing, so...
horizon.
Gotta learn
So-
about the needs.
You're heading towards the temple, and the temple is, of course, open today. It's always open because they want people to come in, listen, and learn stories. The towering structure before you is very decorative, as color spreads all throughout this city. But this temple seems very much even more colorful than the others.
This place is so vibrant, so beautiful.
Even the people are wearing multiple colors of clothing. There doesn't seem to be a set color people love. It's just picking their colors based on what they like or their station and the like.
For the first time ever, Prava feels that his clothing is inadequate.
So, what do you do now you've arrived at the temple?
So the first thing Thiveron does is he just smells around, I guess, for the priests that he knew while he was studying here.
Ah, yes. As you enter further into the temple, you do notice that it's not just Catherians here. There's Shirin, quite a few Shirin, in fact, wandering about. And one of the priests you're talking about would be a Shirin. You can see him like just in his antenna as he's looking down at a scroll. Well, the others can see. And as you come on over, he's like, "Ah, I recognize you.
Yes, I have returned.
Thiveron, yes. Welcome back. Have you come back to resume your studies?"
I have come back to record my travels for the archives and to hopefully gain some sort of insight into the travels of Brother Augarian.
We have not seen him in many, many years.
This is troubling. I was talking to a merchant. Apparently, he's been on the station recently.
Really? We have heard nothing of it. I see you have made friends. Welcome to the temple.
Yes, this is Aiden, and he points to the human. Ataika, Prava, and Kuzon.